Okay, I'm just getting a piece of work ready to, it's going to go in the We Are Croydon block party, which is this Saturday. It's organised by Rise Gallery, but also it will be at my exhibition in the Turf Galleries a couple of weeks later. So this is the back of it here, a piece of birch bark which has been put on, so it's about 1.2mm of zinc plate. Now this has been prepared exactly the same as soft ground method, well, a little bit more involved. The piece of bark is an actual piece of bark taken off a dead birch tree, was first of all scanned into a computer, then just alter the levels a bit just to bring sort of the darks and the lights up, a bit more contrast. Then, so that it could be printed, I needed to put on what they call a little dot, a bit like when you look at a newspaper picture close up, and you'll see that it's made up of lots of little dots. Then that is then made into a screen print as you would use for screen printing t-shirts, and then using the bitumen type material which we used to do the leaf presses. It's the same technique, only this has gone back and forward into the acid 20-30 times. Each time it's come out, and using the original piece of bark as an example, I've then used the bitumen, the stop out, the black stuff, to cover over a little bit more, and then it's back to the acid bath again, and just keep repeating that. And sometimes you're stopping off tiny amounts. So the shiniest pieces here, those have had no contact with the acid, and it works all the way down to these pitted areas which have had the greatest contact time with the acid. Then, because we wanted to keep the actual shape of the bark, that was then cut out using a little scroll saw, and then the edges filed and scraped and burnished as with the leaf objects, leaf plates, so that they're sort of more pleasing than just a rough edge. As I say, there's probably about 50 hours work in something like this, and because of my health conditions, that has to be done over a long period of time, because I couldn't sort of do that day after day to make the time. The leaf prints are much smaller, but this is a long time of a lot of concentration. So this will be going on display. So what I'm doing now is just a little bit of good old Brasso. Take the very thin surface off, but allow me to have it all nice and polished to take to the gallery. So if we switch off here, and then we'll come back when I wrap it up. Okay, so that's it. A little bit of Duraglit, and then polished, and I don't think you can see how much more shiny that is. What I will be doing is using a clear varnish to go over this to protect it, because although zinc oxidizes to a far lesser extent than, say, copper, it still does, and I really like the contrast between the very clear shiny areas and the much more, I think, get focus on there, the sort of deep pitted areas.